start devouring your family. Oh my God! Where the hell have you been?
Great Minotaur, speak again. I really didn't hear you. There's echoes in this weird place. Maybe spirits.
10.
So he hits you in the side.
5.
It moves to the side for you, and the door opens.
Oh shit! Jin, why did you not tell me there was a spirit here?
Do not be a monster.
What is your tribe's name?
For one to be free, there must be two. For two to be released from their shackles, one must be released from their ties to the moon. That will be blood soon. Rich of blood must take the role.
But Kaylin, you have to do this.
So she's literally pulling the were-rat, fur, and everything off of him.
Goodbye, current friends.
You guys now are standing there. Jin, you're laying there, panting real hard. By the way, you have 2 points of exhaustion, Jin. Kaylin, you're also really tired. You have 1 point of exhaustion. Jin's laying down, Kaylin over the top of him. And you guys are all looking up through the moon door, up top, where the apparition just left. You guys feel very accomplished. You did something that was thought to be not doable. You did the unthinkable. You guys look around at each other. Happy. Smiling. Truly, truly believing that maybe as a group, you guys can do some real good in this land. You could change lives. And as you guys are looking around, all of a sudden, Ragnar, you become stiff as a board. His eyes roll on the back of his head, and he tips over onto his back.
I'll catch him.
So you catch him, and he feels cold as the stone that's around you guys.
Ragnar, hey!
Oh my God, what's happening with him?
I don't know.
Does he have a pulse?
Just feels cold.
If you want to check for pulse, you can roll a
Yeah, I do.
medicine check.
11.
You can't really tell. You can't feel anything.
I don't know. He's just cold to me. I don't know. So I'm falling. Decided to catch him.
Don't die on me now, man. I just started liking you.
Okay, so I lay him down on the ground all the way, and I stand up. And so I walk to the center, kind of where Jin and everybody at, and I look at him, kind of nod and see if he's okay. And then I grab the symbol and I say, Lord, for I have been here, please cleanse this land from evil. Push it away to save us all.
Okay, as he's
Yeah,
done
see,
saying
like
that, you could see from the bottom of Colton's feet, you could see a shimmering white light kind of wave over the top, like from his feet, wave across the floor, all the way to wall, and it just hits everything. And once it hits the ritual circle, you hear a loud squeal and a crack, loud crack. And as you guys look over there, you see there's a giant crack down the center of the ritual circle now.
I go back over to Ragnar and see if any changes happened.
No.
Kaylin, do you know any medicine? Like, do you know anything that's going on? Or Jin?
No.
No, I'm not skilled in that. I'm sorry.
I maybe surgery, but that's if you lose an arm or an appendage.
Have you tried the healing potion?
I don't actually have a healing potion, but I do have this, and so I'll kneel down, cast Sentinel of Light on him. So I put my hand on his chest and then grab the symbol again. Lord, please heal him of any afflictions. Bring him back to us if you can. You see kind of like a green greenish white glow come from my hand into his chest, coursing through his body.
You guys see the green light go over top of Ragnar's body, and it just slowly goes inside of him. His skin and everything. You see his hands jerk a little bit, but he's still in the same state as he was.
Well, I don't know what's going on. I think he might be having his epiphany or vision thing. I don't know.
Colton, why don't you throw him over your shoulders and we go back to Rafa's house?
I could do that.
Or we kick out like a sleeping bag and like have a sleepover.
Or we could totally just have a sleepover.
I could lay here for a while.
Where we're just really exhausted, maybe we should just stay here.
Alright, well, let's kick it then. So I pull out my bedroll and I kind of roll it out towards the middle of the room. Put my head facing, so I can look at the door, because it's the only door in, just in case something comes in. Lay my sword down next to it. Lay down for a minute. Jin, you doing okay now, or everything cool with your stuff?
As long as I get some time, to rest, I should be okay.
That was pretty intense.
Yeah, I saw the light, man.
I've seen rituals happen before, but that one was probably the most intense I've been, man.
I'm so glad you're better because I was getting tired of your dog breath and that wet dog smell.
But it wasn't a dog, it was a rat.
It's just putrid.
Well, I mean, I'm just glad you're okay, and I kind of slap him on the shoulder a little bit. Once you get some rest, you look pretty worn the fuck out.
Alright, I pull out my bedroll and lay it down and snuggle into it after taking off my armor.
I think I'll take first watch because I'm not hurt at all.
Good point.
You sure, Davina?
I'm
just have
super awake and super wired. Me and Bobwire can catch up.
You could just have Bobwire do it, and you can crash.
Yeah, he doesn't have to sleep.
Anyway.
Listen to me, mister. No, I'm gonna hang out with my friend and catch up. You guys just get some rest. It's okay.
All right. Sounds good. Wake me up in 3 hours, and I'll take over.
Okay, sounds good. Nighty night.
Ragnar, you see, the last thing you remember is you being in a ritual room. But now, you're back home. Wondering, how did you get here? You look down, you're your young self once again. Is this possibly a past memory? It is. He sees his deity, Cerberus, and he sees his trainer, Valkar. He walks up to him. You see him raise his hand, puts it straight out in front of him, and he can't hear what he's saying. But all of a sudden there was a portal-like substance appear in front of them. And then all of a sudden it goes away as soon as he puts his hand down. He looks down at Ragnar. Ragnar knows what to do. So he puts his hand out, closes his eyes, squints real hard, and he imagines the most perfect place ever. The portal opens. 3 hours goes by. 6 hours go by. 8 hours go by. All of a sudden you feel the sun on your face, Colton. And it's warm. And it wakes you up.
Oh, man, I must have slept on a freaking rock. Oh,
You slept on multiple pebbles.
kind of stretch it out. Oh, Hey, Jin, you cool?
Jin,
Hey, man, I feel great.
Wait,
you do not.
the sun's out.
Yeah.
So I look around to see.
You don't see Davina anywhere if that's what you're looking for. Or barbed wire.
We got a problem, guys, and it involves our lovely undead lover.
Ragnar, you're back to normal now.
I'll look around to see if I can see if she's somewhere in the room somewhere. Or...
Yeah, I'm looking around too. Kaylin, you wake me, and I toss a pebble at her if she's sleeping.
Oh.
You guys notice that Ragnar just all of a sudden woke up.
Hey,
It's alive!
you okay?
Oh.
He has the worst headache he's ever had.
Did you sleep on a rock too?
Oh, do you have some water?
And I pull out my flask and I hand it to him.
Oh, thanks. That's not water.
Yeah, it is. It might be a little dirty. Just kidding. It's clean water.
I think this is what you.
Oh, that's my flask. Oh, my bad. Are you okay? What happened?
The sun's out. How long was I out?
That's what we're just wondering. Davina was supposed to wake me up 3 hours, like, I don't know even what time, like 3-4 hours ago, and she's gone.
What is she?
I don't know. That I was looking around, and all of a sudden you started stirring around. We thought you were dead. I caught you. You fell over. You just went stiff as a board.
I've never had that happen before. That was.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I tried to healing you and all that. Like, nothing was coming out of it. Do you remember anything? You had a vision? Something?
It's less of a vision and more that I'm remembering things that have been blocked away from me. I don't really know how else to explain it. But I think we need to find Davina. We need to try and see what's going on with her before we worry about. I'm fine. It was a good dream. Trust me. They're good memories. That I'm remembering.
Oh.
It was from before I really had much interest in that. It was when I was a child. Memories.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. And Jin, you're looking spry, little fella. You are.
I feel much better.
You look good, man.
As I'm talking to everybody, you see me kind of munching on some rations, just so everybody knows.
I'm gonna investigate the area and see if I can figure out what happened to Davina.
Okay.
I would just do perception, see if I can't find anything weird, trapdoors or anything out of place.
As they're doing that, I go up to Kaylin and kind of shrug her shoulder. Hey, Davina's gone.
I fly up with my fists out, ready to fight.
Hey, dude, Davina's just missing, and so is barbed wire. We're trying to figure this out.
Oh crap! Sorry, you scared the shit out of me.
Well, I have that effect on people.
Yeah, probably.
So I stand up and I help her to her feet. I grab her hand, help her to her feet, and Davina's gone. I woke up and the sun's out. She never woke me up to change guards. She's just gone. Her and barbed wire's
nowhere.
Gone.
Oh my god.
Yeah, these two are looking around to see if they can find anything.
So as you're looking around, you don't exactly know where she was last night because you all of a sudden passed out. So you were just looking around. You go over by the gate that you guys first came through. You notice that it's tightly shut. You grab it and it doesn't wiggle at all. Like it's not moving. So you keep going around, and you notice there's a part of the fence on the opposite side of the door from that you guys came in. There's a part of the fence that looks like it used to be a gate. And as you inspect the wall behind the fence, you could see that it looks like somebody collapsed a bunch of rubble and rock where there used to be a doorway. And you keep looking around. There's no sign of a struggle, nothing. But that's the only interesting thing you've seen was that collapsed wall. Jin, what'd you roll in perception?
I got 21.
21?
Total.
Okay, you literally see the same exact thing. But you do know that the door, the door you guys came through, it kind of melted together. So now you can't open it.
Hey guys, I think we have a problem here. The door looks like it's been fused together.
Hey, Galen, come take a look at see if you can kind of get a look on this too. Colton, come here as well.
So, Jin, if that door's really, it's fused, you said?
Yeah, it's been fused together.
All of a sudden, you guys see a shadow that goes over top of the noon door. And then all of a sudden, as you guys look up, you see an owl coming down and land on Kaylin's shoulder. It's Alara. Alara's come back.
Pretty bird.
It is a pretty bird.
I reach up and stroke her.
And she
Her
drops.
feathers.
She has something in her beak for you. It looks like she caught you a mouse.
Oh, that's a fine breakfast there, Alara. I'll go and I'll investigate that hole that Ragnar seen closer. The fence.
So the part that I'm thinking that you guys forgot me saying is it looked like there used to be a gate in the fence.
Silver gate.
I'll open the gate.
It doesn't open, but it feels loosely.
I'll with all my strength.
Okay,
And that's
so
probably my strength.
Yeah, I'll use your strength. So as you grab it, your hand starts shaking, and you can hear a metal rattle, like the hinges are rattling, and you're pulling, and all of a sudden you can see the bars start to slowly bend where your hands are, and it just all of a sudden pops free off of the wall. And
Told you I'm the best.
And
I huck the fence.
You huck it? Okay. You huck it to the side, and now you guys have a clear shot at the doorway. So with you and Colton, you guys easily are moving the rubble out, and so you guys are moving it, and you hit the other side. It's dark, but you can see that there's stairs that go up, and then you can see
Oh, so the doors broke open.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you could see that there's a little bit of sunlight coming through what looks like the bottom of a door, but there's stairs going up, and it's kind of dark in there, but it looks like it's a small little concrete building that you guys are in. It's about 60 feet up. Sorry, it's about 60 feet up. So, but you could see there's sunlight coming in, what looks like through the door.
And the stairs are intact.
The stairs look intact. Yeah.
Look at Ragnar and say, "Okay, just kind of let's take it slow, just in case there's traps or whatever." But I'll start heading in.
Okay. So you start heading.
Yeah, I'll fall behind.
It's literally as you guys broke through. It's just straight stairs. So you guys start heading up. As you get to the top, you look around. It is a small little building that you guys are in. You look to your left. There's a coffin, a concrete coffin to your left. You look to your right, and there's a similar coffin to your right as well. And then in front of you, you see a door. You could see that there is light coming through the bottom of the door, and as well as through the keyhole and stuff.
I'll just push on the door, see if it's locked first.
Okay, it's sturdy, like you have to turn a door handle or something.
Okay, so I grab the door handle and turn it.
Okay, it turns.
And I push it open.
Okay, it opens, and you're hit with bright sunlight that is eventually being covered by clouds. And you look outside, and it looks like you're in kind of a swampy forest. And you can hear, in the distance, you hear rumbling, a loud boom. And then you see a flash of light all of a sudden. And then you hear another boom. It's in the distance, way in the distance. It sounds like thunder.
Do I know? You guys hear that? And I walk outside.
Okay, you walk outside, you look around. And in the distance, it looks like there's a storm cloud coming.
Storm coming in.
All of a sudden, you guys feel little raindrops start hitting you in the face.
We need to find some shelter out of this rain.
Rain?
I pull out my. I'll step back inside and I pull out the map to see if I can recognize where we might be at on the map.
Anyone curious what are
sent it
in
to you
these
guys in
coffins?
I usually don't disrupt the dead.
A 3.
Three?
It's very common in my
um,
culture to burn our dead.
You can't even get the stone top off of the coffins in order to look at it. So they're pretty heavy.
I can't get it.
As you guys are
Still
sitting
heard
here, this
something.
storm is coming in pretty quick. The wind's starting to hit you guys, or around you guys, and now it's just downpour outside. The sun is behind
So
the
for some
clouds,
reason it won't let me pull it up.
and now it's super dark. So I'll
don't
just
know
tell
what
you,
to do.
Colton. On the map, it doesn't tell you where there's a swamp.
Can
we
So
determine
now
what time of day it
it's dark, so it's early morning.
With my
Um,
Outlander background, do I know at least which directions, like compass-wise?
You guys are more northeast, facing northeast.
Okay.
So it's getting dark. So now with the heavy rain, there's a slight fog coming in. So you could see probably 30 feet, that barely. But as soon as the fog's starting to come in, there's a crack of lightning. In the distance, you see a black. It's probably 500 feet. You could barely see it. It sticks out above all of the swampy trees and stuff. You see a black shape in the distance that looks maybe like a castle.
What? So I look at my map again to see if I can see the castle on the map.
No, there's the only castle that you guys see on the map is down south at the capital.
So I think that we need to start heading that way. Whether we like
Towards the
it or not.
castle? That creepy son-bitch?
I like it.
All of a sudden, there was a lightning strike that landed right next to you, hit a tree right next to you. The tree tips over. There is a road or a trail that's right in front of you. It's kind of wider than a trail, I guess, but it's not as wide as a road that a wagon would fit on. But the
We need to
lightning
get
hits the
shelter.
tree and it tips over the trail.
I don't know about you guys. That lighting might not do much damage to me, but I think you guys might not like it so much.
Yeah, but there's trees here. They should take the blow.
We can go back inside the crypt here. I mean,
Hey,
what's
I
it gonna do in
have.
there?
I might have a place that we can hide. Just wait out the storm.
All of a sudden, you guys hear something that's like between the heavy rain and the thunder. You guys hear something that's very different than all of that.
Oh shit!
And then you can hear, as he says, "Oh shit!" You can hear little like thumpings on the ground, and then you can hear the suction from the.
Your patter?
Yeah.
I draw my sword and I look towards where that was, see if I can see it.
And as you guys actually roll me a perception. It's really hard to see, so you squint as you're looking around, and you see a misshapen form that is pitter-pattering away from you guys down the trail right in front of you. And they're probably about 60-ish meters in front of you. You could barely see them.
I start following them.
I guess we should follow. We don't want to leave one of our teammates behind.
I think we might follow these because we don't know where Divina went, and the only place logically, if somebody took her, that I can see so far would be the castle. So she may be in the castle, and we may be able to find her.
If I get struck by lightning and die, I'm gonna haunt you for the rest of your life, Ragnar.
That's okay. I have many ghosts.
Perfect.
I'll be your scariest one ever.
You guys begin to move down this path where this tree had maybe fallen over that was struck by lightning just not a minute ago. Everybody possibly climbing over this tree. It's a very, very wet log type looking tree. Can you guys give me acrobatics checks to maybe see if you can get across the tree without slipping?
Ragnar does 21.
Nice.
15.
So you do like a front flip. You don't even touch the tree. You just front flip over the log.
15.
So you got like kind of like a little bit of some slippage going on.
I rolled a 15 plus 5, so 20.
You get over the tree, no problem.
She does like a side cartwheel flip over it.
Oh, yeah.
24 on athletics.
What would you like to do with that high of a
Go
roll?
up.
What would you like to do? Get over the log.
Grab the edge of it, do this jump up in the air, or push myself off the log and do this spin thing in the air and then land down on the ground with my kind of like with my arm out to the side. I'm like, yeah, with my staff.
Who's in the lead? Are you guys just in a single file
Ragnar.
line? Or are you guys right next to each
Ragnar.
other? You can
Ragnar.
probably fit 2 people right next to each other on the trail before it gets pretty swampy and muddy, where it gets to be rough terrain.
Ragnar's currently in front.
So
And
Ragnar
it's me
is
and then Jin.
okay. So everybody,
Or
Are
no,
you guys
it's
gonna
me,
be-
then Kalen, then Jin.
so who's honing on perception? Like obviously probably Ragnar because he's in front. So Ragnar, roll me a perception with disadvantage.
20.
So you could see them in the distance still, and they're still following the trail. And as you guys are walking down this trail, the rain's practically hitting you guys in the face. So you're kind of covering your eyes just like this. And you look around and you see dead animal corpses that are fully intact right alongside the trail in the swamp area. Multiple you see gators, you could see some bullywugs off in the distance that are just laying there.
Well, dead things. I suppose that's a good sign when trying to find the arena.
No, yeah, no shit.
Although this does seem a little strange.
Is any of the meat still good, or is it all bad, all rotten?
Do you want to go and inspect it?
Yeah, I'll do a survival check on it.
Okay.
Natural 20.
You get up to it and you start looking at it. It's not cut, or you don't see any damage on the gator's hide. Like you don't see anything except for 2 puncture marks right on the side of on its back shoulder. You could see it. And by looking at it and stuff, it's been here a while. It has no eyeballs. In there, you could see inside of its head. So it's been here a long while. The hide looks good still, but it looks like it's been drained of blood.
This is really weird, guys. This animal has been completely drained of all of its fluids.
So what's happening? What did you say is happening over there, Jim?
This animal, it has been completely drained of all of its fluids. It's been dead for a while, but its blood and everything is gone.
Maybe let me try and search my memories to see if I've ever heard of something like this. But you know what? I really don't think so, because I think if we were to roll a die, I maybe only would have gotten about a 7.
Yeah, it looks like. So as you look at it, Ragnar, and you try to think back, it's just you in your thought or in your head, you just say, "Yeah, it's probably just been dead a while."
I mean, there's puncture wounds, you know. Maybe it's been dead a while and it just kind of.
I investigate the
drained out.
puncture ones.
The rain washed away
I
the
know what
blood.
they are. 17.
You've heard of this. You've never seen it. You've heard of things that have been cursed that take. You've heard a lot of things about this that could possibly fit this category. Witches use needles to poke into them. 2 needles that poke in and it drains the blood. There's possibly maybe some vampires, but there's no proof that vampires have ever existed in this world. There's never been any proof. They kind of look like dart puncture wounds as well, like somebody blew a dart, punctured it.
Yeah, I haven't seen this before.
As you guys are standing there, lightning bolt lands super close to you guys. Hits there's a puddle of water probably 10 feet away from you guys, and it hits it, and all of a sudden water just splashes up over top of you guys, and then there's a little bit of mud raining down on you now, and there's a little bit, some debris and stuff.
I'll stand up and start walking towards the castle. And you're not like walking slow, like kind of walking a little faster.
Yeah,
We need to get out of here, guys. We need to hurry. Get into shelter.
I'm still
I
kind
agree.
of in the
Let's
lead.
go.
Yeah.
You guys start walking a while. There's a crack of lightning in the distance, making more close to you guys. And as you guys approach this, you guys see this castle is a pretty big castle. It's pretty scary looking. You're probably about 150 feet from it now that you guys can actually see the top of it above the trees. It comes to a point. There's 3 towers. They all come to a point, and then it looks like maybe that there's a statue on top of each one. But it's pretty black as you guys approach it.
Oh, I'm sure it's a good place.
This looks like the home of my old master.
As you guys approach it, Ragnar, roll me another perception check with disadvantage.
That one is a 16.
Okay, you do catch a glimpse of what you guys saw earlier, going through some gates, and then the gates shut behind him. As you guys that was probably 60 feet in front of you guys. So as you guys approach this gate, it's a huge double door gate. You guys approach this gate, and you see a big DA on the gate, and yeah, you guys see a big gate DA, and through it, 60 feet from that, it looks like there's a fountain there, and it looks like there's a gravel road that goes around this fountain up to the front door of the castle.
How do the grounds look? Do they look well kept, or do they look overgrown?
So as you guys look at the gate and stuff, you look to the right. It's all like there's 2 iron gates, and then it goes into a brick wall that looks like it circles the whole castle. Maybe it looks very overgrown. There's dead trees, but then there's also live trees. But you can see that there's vines going up all of the walls, and on the gate there's a little bit of vines in between. But where it's been open, you notice that there's no vines connecting from the ground to the gate.
Is the fountain still running?
No, it doesn't seem to be. It's kind of hard to see where you guys are standing.
I'm gonna grab the gate, try to open it.
Okay, you grab it and it pops open.
I walk in.
Okay. As you guys.
I'll follow behind him.
Me too.
Okay. And Kaylin as well. So, you guys walk towards the fountain. It's super overgrown. You can see vines and debris and stuff all over the sides of it. It's round. It kind of reminds you of the fountain that you guys seen in Sicilia, except for it's not a unicorn. It's there's a bowl on the bottom, so like a big bowl, and then it goes up. It looks like a bird bath, I guess that's what it said. And it comes up to a point to another flat plateau, but it's not running, and it's all made of black marble. And there's
Fancy.
Yeah, it looks like there's mud inside of it. There's grass. It stinks like it's a swamp.
Well,
It's
I
putrid.
suppose if anyone was gonna kidnap a necromancer, this would be a place to take him.
Maybe Rafa's here.
Holy shit, I forgot about that guy. Man,
Maybe this is where they're taking everybody that disappears. I'm surprised Jin isn't here. No offense, Jin.
This has been the longest 2 days of my life.
I'm gonna check to see if there's any sort of tracks or anything on the ground that I can spot.
You look around, you absolutely would notice the rest of the grounds just harbored in shadow and lightning that possibly illuminates the area around you every maybe 5 to 10 seconds. It's not very common, very often I mean, but you would definitely see like maybe some hedge like at one point in time, maybe this was like a beautiful garden of sorts. Maybe it was like the front estate to a beautiful home, but now it's overgrown, slightly kept up on, but maybe by hands of someone that really doesn't know what they're doing, or maybe possibly, I don't know, like it's just overgrown to the point where it's still kept its shape after so many years. But as you look at the castle, you notice that the castle does form to a point, and that there would be 3 separate points, and all of them varying in height, and that there would be one taller piece to this castle that clearly distinctly has its own ambience to it, if you will, just by looking at it. Maybe roll a Constitution check. Maybe this would incite fear to someone, or maybe of sorts. Whoever's witnessing, looking around.
Constitution, you said, is 22.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe you're not. Okay.
Oh, it's a saving throw, so 25.
Okay, so maybe you're inspired by this. Maybe it's a form of excitement, less fear, like no intimidation.
I like scary things.
Yeah, I've seen worse.
Moving forward toward the front door. Okay.
Yeah, follow.
So as you guys approach the front door, it's a big door, huge, double doors. 2 big round iron rings for door handles, it looks like. And then there's 2 big door knockers that look like door handles as well on each door. And it's black wood as you guys approach. There's some shapes designed inside this wood. It's kind of creepy looking, but it's also, as you guys look at it more often, it was probably very beautiful back in its prime. But it looks old. You can see that there are vines crawling up it a little bit. On the side of the castle, you guys could see that it's super overgrown. There's dead bushes, dead trees. There's there's weeds. It's looks like it's not been taken care of in a very long time. You guys approach the door, and you're at the front door now.
Grab the door knock, kind of knock on the door.
Okay, so you grab the door knocker. It's very cold in your hands. You could tell that it's made of iron, and you knock, and it's boom, boom, boom. You do it 3 times, and you hear an echo in the building, like it's very, very empty and very, very quiet. And all of a sudden, you hear...
They followed us. They followed us. Run!
And you hear little pitter patter it sounds like it's on stone floor.
I push open the door. We gotta hurry. They're obviously running away from us.
Okay, so you guys open the door, and it's quite a sight as you guys open the door.
I'll make mention that we should be careful. If these things don't want us here, then we must worry about traps. They may have set something up.
It's a good point, Jim. It's a good point. Like we kind of Scooby-Dooed it inside.
Okay. So everybody goes inside?
Yeah.
So as you guys are inside witnessing this amazing structure, this is huge. One of the most beautiful things. From the outside, you guys would have never guessed what's inside. It's very clean inside. You guys notice this massive black crystal chandelier in the front. As you guys walk in, that's literally the first thing you guys notice. There's 13 candles on it, and they're lit. They're all lit, and it's just a beautiful looking chandelier. As you guys look to your left, you guys see this massive staircase going up, kind of a side, not a full spiral staircase, but it goes up to a second floor patio, and you guys can see some paintings on the wall up there. And you guys passed, in the front of you, there's a red carpet that goes straight back, and there's just a wall in front. You see 4 big marble pillars holding up the second floor And it looks like behind the staircase there's another way that way. And you can see a red carpet going up the middle of the stairs as well. And past these marble pillars straight in front of you guys see a fireplace that's lit. And above the fireplace, you guys see a painting of what looks like a family, and then there's a guy kind of standing in the back in the painting. And on each side of the painting, you guys see some pretty nice bull elk mounts right next to it. And to your right, you guys look to your right, there's a big archway that leads into what looks like a study room.
What's it smell like in here?
Which way did the footsteps go?
You don't know. It smells kind of like dust and old age.
I'll go up. I start walking up to the fireplace to look closer at the painting, see if I've seen these people before.
Okay, as you approach, your instant... Oh, actually, roll me a history check.
19.
19? Okay. You've seen pictures of the guy that is standing in the front with 2 little boys, a little girl, and a woman. And then there's a guy behind. So the guy with the woman, they have their arms linked with each other with the kids right in front of them. It's Garmin, King Garmin. He's standing there, and what looks like his family. The guy in the kind of behind him, you don't recognize.
You guys, I think we're in King Garmin's home.
Really?
Yeah, this is a picture of him right here. And his family. I don't recognize that other guy though.
So as you guys are looking at this, as you guys are standing here looking at this painting, you feel a gust of wind kind of on top of hit above you, and it slams the door shut behind you guys. Boom! And you all
Don't
of a sudden,
tell me it's locked.
all of a sudden you hear this.
That's them, master. That's them.
You guys instinctively back up to the door.
I check the door, see if it's locked.
You can't open it.
Son of a bitch.
So you guys are pressed up
Trap.
against your back, and you guys hear little squeaks in the sky, or above you, not the sky. You hear little squeaks, and you hear little wings flapping. And you guys look up, and you guys can see bats flying down in a circle, coming down to you. And as you guys look up, you could tell that this part is one of the towers, because it goes straight up, and you can see the end of the point to it.
Bats, does anybody have any fire?
As the bats come down, they're not coming towards you guys. They're not coming towards you guys.
I do.
You notice that.
Okay.
And you guys, they hit the ground, and all of a sudden, you could see them kind of just forming into something. The bats are disappearing. So you could see them forming into a person. You could see his legs now, and it's going up, and then all of a sudden you see a person standing in front of you.
Is it pretty well lit in there?
The candles above you, so no, it's not too in the fireplace, but yeah, you could see stuff. But he has black, slick hair, short hair. And Brendan, I'll let you explain what he looks like.
So, let's see. He would look like maybe not exactly gaunt, but definitely very prominent facial features, as if his skin would be sunken in, his cheekbones poke out a little bit, his jawline is more sucked inwards. His forehead and temples maybe poke out just slightly, almost as if there isn't too much texture underneath the skin. Not like a skeleton in a way. There's still features and flesh there, but almost like as if it had been maybe drained, or maybe through age, or through spells, or just some sort of experience through existence. This person would absolutely have a darker aura or feeling about them the second you see them. This person has slightly wide, broad shoulders that would be hidden via a cloak, that would come down its body and maybe drag on the floor just slightly, just enough that you couldn't see under it, or it would take a little bit for you to pick it up, kind of like maybe a curtain almost, maybe repurposed curtain, if you will. You cannot see hands. It's just maybe tied together by a rope of some kind, or sewed together in a way that he can unravel it very easily. But hand movement is a thing, but you don't see his hands right now. You just would see his face in the shadowy silhouette that he has appeared in front of you.
Colton, you actually, as you're looking at him, you take a glance over his shoulder, and he's the guy in the painting behind Garmin.
Who are you?
We have guests. No one said that we would have guests today.
We're out looking for a friend. The storm kind of drove us in. We're just kind of looking for a little bit of shelter. Didn't mean to intrude.
You're getting water all over my floor. Please, make your way to the rest area and take your clothes and soaked goods off your body. I will see you soon. And he hand gestures as he pulls his hand out of his cloak to a direction. You see his hands are extremely bony, sunken in fingers, almost as if you can see all of the bones and the inner workings of a hand, with slightly sharp claws and elongated fingers in a giant palm, if you will. Maybe a couple of classy dark ruby rings as he points in a direction, but him still slightly being not completely facing everyone, just maybe half of his face is viewed. And he points in a direction and says, "Please, come this way. I am not sure how long you must stay, but the least I can do is keep you warm."
Well, I would like to roll an insight to see if there's any ulterior motives.
Sorry.
So that
Anyway.
is a 24 for insight.
You feel like he's being genuine. He's just offering you shelter from the storm.
Ragnar takes a soft bow. I appreciate your generosity. And then I start going in the direction that he motioned towards.
Would everyone follow suit?
And so I kind of walk backwards, kind of glance at Ragnar, but keep an eye on the guy.
Let's say you see what direction to walk, and as you look back towards this figure, all of a sudden he's more than 5 feet closer, but still holding his arm up in the direction into which you were supposed to walk, as if he made no sound, just moved, but without any kind of audible response, as if you lost track of him and he moved. Yeah.
I ask him as I'm walking, "So, you know King Garmin?"
As you maybe turn, because I don't know if you're an owl where you can watch behind you as you're walking towards, because now he's behind you at this point. As you turn to ask this question, you see he's gone.
So I stop and I turn around to get a better look to see if I see him at all.
Like if you have asked this question and like your voice almost echoes through the rest of the foyer behind you.
That was weird.
He's gone, so I don't know what the hell that was.
Ragnar walks into the rest of
And
the...
I follow suit, but kind of
Yeah, I'll
looking around to see
get
if I
his
can
suit
see him.
As you come in, I think you would definitely see just a piece of like a giant, way too big of a backrest, but a chair sitting in front of the fireplace, not directly, maybe angled towards the fireplace, just like a 10-foot backrest that's super, super tall, but the chair itself is for a normal person's seating size. You would absolutely in this room see maybe a couple more mounts up on the walls, and then you would see up in the towards the top of the room there are windows that maybe have sorts of stained glass, and definitely pillars, these like maybe almost like Greek type pillars, not exactly Greek, but the size and the viscosity of the situation with these pillars would be very detailed and half handcrafted, almost as if steel in a way. like maybe gargoyles battling, evil versus good type images that you would see on these types of pillars. And is everyone coming into the room, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of took up the rear,
Okay.
and I was looking around, see if I can find him anywhere, with my hand on my sword still, just kind of looking around, walking, and like I slowly go through the door, and I close it behind me.
As you turn, when you close it, you turn back around. He's now standing beside you, almost as if you run into him. And you run into his
What the
chest.
frick? And
He looks at you and says,
I almost draw my sword.
he looks at you and puts his hand on your hand as you feel this cold bone chill and says, "You have not need for that. If I wanted to, I would have gotten rid of you before you touched foot in my swamp.
Your swamp.
Please, everyone." He takes his hand off of yours, which was on your sword,
And I slowly sheath it.
silently walks towards the rest of the group as he motions towards some blankets and maybe a little bit of like refreshments, maybe setting on a table with like these Victorian type glasses. Maybe they're like ruby red glass with some clear liquid in it. Maybe there's a couple bottles nearby of like wine maybe. And he says, "Please refresh yourselves. I do not know how long you would stay here, but it cannot be forever. For this is my home and you are not invited." As he turns, and as soon as he turns in this direction towards this corner of the room where the fire would not reach, it's a shadow of the room, and he disappears into it.
What the hell is that?
We didn't even find out about Davina.
I'm
He
gonna
didn't-
walk up
he
to
didn't-
the fireplace and rub my hands together, trying to get warm.
It feels nice. The fire's very warm.
He didn't give me a chance to ask about Davina.
Well, it was kind of weird because I asked about Garmin, because he's in the picture with Garmin. I don't know if you guys noticed that he's the guy behind him in that painting.
Mhm.
Just a little bit more sickly looking. But I asked about, so you know King Garmin, and then all of a sudden he's gone. And then all of a sudden I walk through the door and he's right frickin' there. Kind of scared me a little bit. I about had to bust a cap, but he touched me, dude. He is ice cold, just so you know. And if he feels like death.
Well, I mean, if he's really old enough to know Garmin from the painting, from when Garmin used to live here, if this used
Maybe
to be
he-
his home.
All of a sudden,
Well-
you guys hear some pitter patter in the hallway where you guys just came from. It sounds like not running or anything, but it sounds like some slow pitter patter coming your guys' direction.
Have we heard that before?
It sounds like those. I mean, this is a slower pitter patter from what you guys heard from the thing that you heard through the door running away or whatever. But as they come around the corner, you guys are looking at something that you guys hardly see, maybe never in your entire lives. You see two sets of people. They're halflings. You guys can tell they're halflings. The one on you, as you guys are looking, the one on your guys' left, so they're right. His right side of his face, like they have hair, but it's patchy, and it looks like a lot of it has fallen out. On the right side of his face, it looks bulbous, huge and deformed, and his right eye is way bigger than his left, and his eye socket right up here is just sticking super far out. His right side of his lip, bottom lip, is bigger than his left side, so his whole right side is just deformed, but his left side of his face looks like a normal halfling, like very, very handsome on his left side. On his left eye, he has a green eye. On his right eye, his bulbous eye, it's all black, just black. And the one on your guys' right, his left, is a very similar, actually, almost a mirror image of the same guy, but everything that is deformed on the one on your left is the opposite.
Deformed on the other.
So
Okay.
on the left side of this one's face is all deformed. Same thing, black eye. His right eye is it's a different color of eye though. It's more of a bluish yellow. Like it's blue but has a yellow tint to it as well. Very handsome. And this one, his hair is more kept. There's no patches. He actually has blonde hair that comes down to his shoulders, but it's all tied back up into a little ponytail. And you guys notice that they are connected shoulder to shoulder, and they have a total of 4 feet, but you only see 2 arms. The one on your guys' right has only a left arm. The one on your guys' left,
they're like conjoined, is what you
Conjoined.
they're conjoined
Okay.
at the shoulder. But you don't see that they only have 1 arm each.
So one on right and one on left. Okay.
Yes.
What about feet? Is there 4 legs?
Yep, there's 4 legs. You guys see 4 legs. They're wearing some pretty tattered pants. You guys do notice that they have some they have some shoes on, and their shirt is it's just one giant shirt. It looks like it was kind of half-assed custom made for them. But it covers their conjoined parts and stuff. But yeah, and so they approach you guys and they say, the one on your guys' right, the more handsome looking one, the one with the long blonde hair and stuff, you guys hear him say, oh, and as they walk in, you notice that each one of them have like what looks like towels and stuff underneath their arms.
The master. He's ordered us to bring you these cloth.
And so they walk towards you guys, kind of like a little, waddle, and they get close to you, and they try to reach out, but the towels are underneath their arm, and so they can't really reach out and hand them to you. So he's like trying to give it to you as he's reaching.
I reach out
Okay.
and grab it.
And I'm like, I kind of look at Ragnar, and I'm just kind of inspecting, just waiting for if something happens to jump in. Kind of just looking.
Here, dry off, and then come out to the main foyer, and we will we'll get you some food.
I'll reach out and I grab a towel as well.
We will see you guys very soon.
And the one on your guys' left, so the more creepy one with the patchy hair, has the last towel, and he goes over to Kaylin, and he says,
Now, little pretty girl, little pretty girl.
I reach out and grab the towel. Thank you.
so as you grab it, you could feel him. He reaches out and barely grazes the back of your hand. And he also says to you,
You're so pretty. You're so pretty. Very, very soft.
and as that happens, you slowly back away. And they turn around and they exit the room. So you guys are drying off, and it's pretty warm in this building. Even though when he touched you, Colton, he was ice cold, it's actually pretty warm in here. You guys do hear the crackling of lightning and thunder outside still. You can hear the rain beating down on the windows. As you guys look at the windows, they are covered with curtains as well.
When you look towards the window, you can see that figure standing at the window looking outside.
I kind of slowly walk up to him.
You never give us a name that we can address you properly.
As he stares outside and says to himself, "There has not been a storm like this very, very long."
So I walked up to him and I'm staring out the window. I don't even look at him. I'm looking out too. Just kind of. What are we looking at?
He would turn towards you and look down at you and say, "Possibly dinner, if you will."
What's for dinner?
He turns and walks past you. Would you turn to look at him where he's going?
Yeah.
He disappears before you can even keep your eyes on him.
The fuck?
Everyone that would be watching would
so-
almost see him melt into shadow, into the floor.
So, because of all the stuff that he's doing, can I do a history check to see if I know what he is? 19 then.
Yeah.
The roll to beat in my mind would be like a 22, to be honest.
Damn
That's
it!
what I was thinking too. You don't know. You've never encountered this before. You've never seen this type of being, like anything.
Me neither.
So I looked back outside to see if I see him because he was looking out there and he said dinner.
You can maybe see there's a crack of lightning in the distance, and you can maybe see and hear like a screech of a wild creature in the distance, and maybe you can see this creature type thing, this very fleshy looking creature, holding like maybe a wild deer of some kind. And it's holding it as if it's not really trying to hurt it, but still feeding on it. And it looks up towards the castle slowly, as maybe you can get a good glimpse. But then, as this lightning that has struck in this 0.5 seconds that you could see this, he's gone. And the creature's just laying there on the ground, this deer.
My eyes are fucking with me right now. I don't know what I just saw. And I just turn and I walk back to the fireplace and stay warm. So is there a couch or like a chair?
There's definitely furniture.
Yeah, there's
Go ahead,
furniture in
Logan.
there. So the furniture, as you guys look at it, it's red leather. It's very beautiful. Very, very gothic like.
Like pinned red leather.
Yes.
Like the red leather that's pinned.
Yes, and it has
Okay.
black and gold wood trim along the outsides of it, and there's a couch which seats 3 people. What you guys can see, there's 3 pillows on the back of the couch, also the red leather, and then there's a like a coffee tables in the center, but then you guys see that big massive chair that's over by it looks like it doesn't kind of fit in this room. It looks like it's been placed there, but it just doesn't fit the attire in this room. The walls are lined with that same red. It's not leather, but it's red on the walls for the
Like a velvet.
Yeah, like a velvet red. And then the curtains are that red velvet as well. And you guys see 2 other chairs, smaller chairs that are on the opposite end of the couch with the same red leather and the gold trim.
Are those chairs next to each other?
There's a small little table in between them, but yeah. And it has there's a candlestick right in the center of that table as well. Sorry, Cole.
It's okay. I was just wondering if it looked dusty or if it looked like people have sat in it recently.
It looks really clean in this room.
Okay, I'll sit in one of the chairs.
It's one of the most comfortable chairs you've ever sat in.
Oh my god, dude. I haven't felt this comfortable in a chair in
Ooh, let me try.
years.
As Kaylin says,
I'll walk
"Oops," you
over.
guys look over and she tipped over at the candlestick.
Try this chair
And
next to me.
As you
man.
guys look over, Kaylin's trying to hurry and grab and put the candlestick back to where it was, so it doesn't look like she messed with it.
Kaylin, don't worry about it. It's just a little wax. I think you'll be alright.
Or they could kill me for tipping over a candlestick.
Hey, Kaylin, if that's the case, I'll take the blame for you.
I'll sit down in the chair.
You'll
I'm
inspect
gonna
it.
go out.
Yeah, I'll look at it. Look at the craftsmanship on it. See if there's anything different about it.
It's very beautifully made. It looks like it's made by some halflings. Very good craftsmanship. Yeah, sorry. It looks like it's been made from what you've witnessed from halflings and stuff. It's been made by halflings. It's very beautifully made.
How about the leather? What type of leather is it? Like, can I kind of figure out what type of animal it was?
It's elk hide, but it's been dyed red.
Oh, okay. I'll kind of run my hand up and down it.
Yeah, it's very smooth. It's
Appreciate it.
It's oak. The wood on it is all oak, but it looks like it's been stained as well. And then it
This
has
is good-looking dinner, ain't
and the gold trim is literally literal gold in the trim.
it?
Ragnar's gonna go back into the main kind of living area that we walked into, and I'm gonna go and start. Ragnar's just gonna kind of look at the painting a little bit more.
I asked him, hey, I think we should stay in groups. I don't think we should wander off alone. Especially what's going on here. I just don't. Something feels weird. I don't know if it's good or bad. I just think we should not split up. So if you're going somewhere, someone should go with you.
The guy seems like he's been genuine so far. I just want to go take a look at the. I'm just gonna be right out here. I'm gonna take a look at the painting real quick.
I'll go with you still. I wouldn't mind checking it out still. You guys okay with staying in here for now, Kaylin and Jin?
Yeah, we'll be fine.
So before you guys actually walk out, you guys hear that pitter patter approaching you, and you guys literally about to run into these two halflings that you guys seen earlier. And they say,
sorry, you scared me, man.
The one with the nice blonde hair, he says,
Dinner is ready. Follow us.
and they turn around, waddling.
Going this way, guys.
And
Dinner's ready.
they head towards a hallway that goes underneath the staircase, it looks like.
Okay, and say, well, I guess let's go eat.
Okay, I'll get up.
Did you say dinner was served?
Yes.
It's breakfast time, ain't it? I thought it was morning. What time is it? Man, this storm is really getting me out of my time zone here.
I don't know.
I don't
know how long I was out.
You guys,
guys.
by the time you get,
seemed
because it was morning when you guys left, it took maybe a good, 30, 45 minutes to get to the castle from where you guys were.
So it's still,
should be morning. And I look at Ragnar. I thought it was breakfast time, dude, not dinner.
I don't know. Maybe this guy's time schedule is different than ours.
Food is food. Just shut up and let's go eat.
Well, the food's not the problem. I think it's
what the elf said.
Wait. Anyways, well, I guess just go.
You guys all follow him. So you guys enter another doorway, and it's very dusty in here. But you could tell that it's been recently dusted off the table. There's a huge dining table that fits probably about 40 people. You see two big chairs on the end, and then there's a bunch of chairs lining. And it looks like they've been recently dusted off. But the floor on it has been pretty it's really dusty. You guys roll me a perception check.
This one does catch my eye.
Jin and Ragnar are like, oh, because they do see.
I still got a 10 with my bonus list.
Still, you guys are focused on the food that is on the table right now. You see very nice plates and cups, and you see what looks like maybe a bottle of wine sitting in the center. It's a pretty big flask of wine in the center, with a bunch of little ones around it. And then there's the smell you guys are smelling is meat. It smells like deer meat, and it's very satisfying to you guys. Colton and Kaylin, you guys, as you guys look around, you look away from it and you look at the dusty floor, and you do see some bones, little tiny bones every now and then. They're kind of scattered all around, but there's not a lot. There's probably 3 of them that you guys could see. And you guys approach the table, and the 2 little halflings, they turn awkwardly towards you guys, and the one with the blonde hair says,
The master will join you very soon. Please sit down and enjoy. We will be back with the master.
and they walk away through the other door that is in the back.
I'll walk up to the table and I'll sit in the chair next to where the master would possibly sit. So it's somewhat close to it.
You guys do see there's some platters of fruit. You guys some very exotic fruit, like pineapple. There's some dragon fruit and some good, looks real fresh and delicious. And you guys do see some vegetables and stuff scattered. It's just a huge table full of food.
It looks fresh, all of it.
Oh yeah, it looks all fresh to you. And it smells. The
This-
smells are very, very inviting.
This fruit platter looks delicious. Sit down and scoot the whole
does.
thing towards me.
You just
The only-
you guys see this elf. She sits down and she's like, grabs her hands and starts rubbing and reaches literally across the table and pulls this giant fruit platter in front of her and just looks at it.
Share any?
Get your own.
I'll grab my plate and I'll
Just kidding.
read the crust.
The only thing
Of
that
course, I'm not gonna eat this whole thing.
I'm starting to sense what little laugh Tom is talking about. Anyone else doesn't think it's weird that everything else is pristine and clean, and then we come in the dining area and it's freshly dusted, and it looks like it hasn't been dusted before that for a very long time?
I don't think these people eat like this.
Probably not. It's probably a good point. They don't
But-
use this area, but I think
Probably
it's
don't use it.
strange why they
It-
wouldn't. Or at
It
least
was
the
very
cleaning.
uncommon for my.
I guess they're probably just not used to guests. I'm probably overthinking.
So I don't know if anyone's noticed, but my character's just sitting in the chair, just kind of looking around.
He
It was very-
looks very like he's fighting some demons right now in his eyes. Like something is going on with Colton right now.
You guys can see his hands kind of grip the handles a little bit of the chair, a little tighter every now and then.
Kultan, what's going through your mind?
We're good. Nothing.
Right.
It was very uncommon for my family to eat at the dining table during the day because we would be working out in the fields. And so this isn't very uncommon for them not to have a clean dining area.
Right.
Only for guests.
Kayla,
that's easy.
you pick off a grape that is very firm and it looks very juicy. You bite into it and it's so fresh. It's burst of flavor in your mouth with this grape. It's just so juicy and very, very delicious.
This is so good.
Ragnar walks over to Colton and just kind of leans over and whispers in his ear, "Hey, where did they grow this fruit if everything looks like that outside?"
So coming out of what's happening to him, he kind of looks at the table for a minute. You can see him sweating actually pretty good, and you see his grip on the chair kind of loosen. It's a good question.
What's going on in your mind right now? You sensing? I know you have that little sense of yours. Are you sensing something?
Through this whole thing, he hasn't even focused on it. He hasn't, because there's some shit going on in his head, obviously, so he hasn't really focused. So as you mention that, he kind of closes his eyes for a second and kind of sees if he can, but he would roll with disadvantage with that going on in his head for a magic sense. A natural one, so he don't sense shit.
No, so what's going on in your head right now? You're way too distracted to do anything.
Yeah, and I just look at him. I don't know what's going on here. I just can't right now.
Are you outside of this castle right now?
No, I'm sitting at the chair at the table.
In your mind, my friend.
It's a long story that's not the place for this kind of conversation. And I just look at him.
I still think it's
just-
weird that.
I just
where did
look
they
at
get
you.
this fruit?
It's not the place. I don't know where the fruit came from. I think that's my last concern right now. And I just kind of...
Okay. Well, I think I know where the deer came from at least. That makes me a little more comfortable. But
Well, think about
I
this.
think
Maybe they have an indoor garden somewhere. It's a pretty big place.
Right. I'll stick to my rations.
You guys hear the pitter patter come through. The door opens, and you guys
As it
you
does,
guys
you kinda
see the
like-
two little halflings waddling over to you, and each of them are holding 2 plates on each side. Very very fresh cooked steaks on each. They have big silver plates that they're holding, and there's 2 on one and then 3 on the other. And they're all carrying
Steak.
towards you guys, and you guys see steam coming off, and the one says with the long blonde hair, he's
Here's your food. Here's your food. And here you go.
and they slide each one of the plates in front of you, and it's this waft of smell in front of you. It's just so delicious. It looks very 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 good, like very cooked, like good cooked, good, like a professional did it. And on it
Well prepared.
there's also, yes, well prepared, thank you. There's some potatoes, and there's also some beans, some green beans on it, on the plate as well. And then they just turn around and they're like walk in, and then they walk back through the door.
So, Ragnar, I'll go ahead and take a seat across the table from Kotan, so I as well am sitting kind of next to the head where the master might sit.
Okay.
But I'm going to see actually if I can resist
Resist what?
The food.
The food.
Oh, okay.
I got a 21 constitution. So,
Okay.
Ragnar, it smells really good, but I know the guy was being genuine to help us out. I don't like this. And I kind of push the plate away a little bit, and I pull some jerky out of my rations.
Do you think this
Oh.
food is poison?
No, I think it's great.
As
I don't trust people very easily. Let's just say that. The only reason I trust you guys is because Cerberus told me to.
as Jin was saying, I think it's great. As he's saying that, out of nowhere you hear this figure speak from directly behind him. Can you give me a roll? I don't know what kind of check that'd be, to see if you choke, because he's speaking right as soon as you're saying this and you're eating, you're chewing
think
on
that
something.
would
Let's
be
do a
Constitution.
Constitution. So as he says this, you guys don't choke on stuff. You guys are just kind of startled for a minute.
Hello, my guests. I hope I did not startle you at all. I had to go out and find something to eat.
Right.
Oh, you did not startle me. This is great food. I appreciate your hospitality.
And he puts his hand on your shoulder as he peers into your eyes as his eyes begin to glow, and he says, "Do not mention it, friend." And he lets go of your shoulder. As he walks to the head of the table, he is now, you can hear his footsteps, but they are like heavy. And as you're stepping, maybe he'd be walking past Jin towards the head of the table. You could see maybe in the sand, or not the sand, sorry, the dust on the floor, that he is barefoot. You could see footprints as he's walking, and he's like super heavy, thud-like footsteps. As he's walking towards the head of the table, he says, "Forgive me, Uriel, I had the hunger pangs, if you will."
Must have been a big
Oh.
meal.
As he's stepping in front of you guys do notice, from what you guys seen earlier, he has a little more color in his skin.
As he continues to walk and he stops and turns, doesn't completely look at you, but as if he's turning his temple towards you and side-eyeing you, from as he's getting closer to that end of the table, and he says to you, "Yes, I had a good feeling meal, as I hope all of you will. Why are you not eating this food I've given you?" And he looks at Colton and Ragnar.
So Colton kind of sits forward a little bit, leans on one arm, and says, "Waiting for the master. It's impolite to start without the master."
Ragnar kind of half grins. I wanted to know what kind of meat it is.
Of course, this is the finest delicacy that you could find in this neighboring area. It is deer, that of the wild nature from outside. I went and I hunted. I caught it myself. As he approaches the head of the seat and puts his hands on the backrest of it, and he stands above everyone and says, "Please, forgive me for my angry moment earlier. I feel like I disrespected everyone. Maybe got off onto the wrong foot. Please, after you're done with your meal, please stay the night. I will have my servants lead you to your rooms. I do not wish to turn away new friends or guests."
So, are you the master of this place?
I am, indeed. My name is Dalv.
Dolph what, if I may ask?
Well, you may possibly already know what my name is. I have been around for quite some time.
I see you in that painting with King Garmin there.
Ragnar, roll me an intelligence check.
Or nat 20.
So,
But my last name, I am Dalv Alucard. Have you heard of me?
how do you know King Garmin? I just noticed you in the painting with him.
I have known Garmin for quite some time. Are you friends of his?
Just from what I've heard from history, like I wasn't alive when he was here, so.
Ha, history, you say. I am history itself. I have fought many battles in my time, alongside of King Garmin. Have you ever experienced his presence before? I presume you are not some kind of dryad that could live for thousands of years. Have you possibly encountered him?
No, as far as I know, no. I've actually, and he kind of shifts in the chair, and he's sweating still. You can tell he's still battling stuff in his head, but he's trying to focus. I've been around a long time, but not as long as that.
Dolph would absolutely begin to walk around the table as he comes closer to, as he walks towards Kaelin, and he says, "And you, my pretty little elf, I think my servants have taken a liking to you. Please, if they make you feel uncomfortable at all, you must allow them to possibly take some space or tell them to find another route, like a highway."
As Dolv looks around, he looks at Ragnar, and Ragnar is stone still in his chair, and his eyes are rolled in the back of his head. And then all of a sudden, he comes to, and he's like shaking his head, and he like grabs his temples and starts like he has a headache.
Dolph,
I lean forward. Are you okay?
Sorry, this happens way too often.
we have the best medical care in the area if you wish it. Are you okay? I do not wish to make my guests feel ill. Please eat some of the food I have prepared for you.
Holy shit.
I feel tension between you two.
Dolph, it's nice to meet you, finally.
Have you heard of my great tales?
Sir, I may have fought alongside you in some of your tales.
Please forgive me. I am a man not of memory. I fought great in many wars.
It's fine. We never officially met. I don't think I ever really even saw you, but
This is interesting. I'm not sure where you could have met me from, but as he maybe feels uncomfortable now. But I may have to retire for the night. Please, everyone, enjoy your food.
So as he says, "I must retire for the night," you guys look at the window, and it's daytime outside.
Dal, what happened to you?
As he begins to maybe sleek towards the corner of the room with the least amount of light, if you would, he says, there's too much time. I cannot talk about this. Please, peruse my wares. Look around my castle. What is mine is yours, but please, whatever you do, do not go into the dungeon. You might not survive, let alone like what is down there. As he backs into the corner and maybe almost fades into nothing. Colton, what were you going to say?
I need to possibly speak to you privately.
As he begins to fade, you see his face slowly melt into darkness and his lips utter, "In due time, my friend, in due time."
I just kind of bow my head. It's okay. I look at Ragnar now.
Ragnar's just kind of looking at the table in deep thought.
I walk up, I sit back down and face him, just kind of. So, you're older than we thought.
What makes you think that?
The reason I say that is because he told me he fought alongside Garmin. History books say that was over 2,000 years ago when Garmin was around.
Right.
So.
But he also said that he fought in many wars.
With Garmin.
Well, you don't know that he didn't fight in more wars after that.
So you're saying you're not that old? You're still at least over 1,000 years old, and at least memory issue. Is that why you black out?
I've told you this. I told you my memories are like flooding back into me. I've said this a few times actually.
Sorry,
so, yes.
The last couple hours have been pretty
Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Mind fucking is what you might say. But
so what's going on with
I haven't been myself. No, we're going back to you.
I'll tell you what. If you can trust me enough to tell me what's going on in your head, I will trust all of you enough to tell you what I remember about myself. If you can't trust me with your stuff, then how can I trust you with mine? I know we've only known each other literally maybe a week at the most. But the shit we've been through together, I think we deserve a little bit more. And I believe you guys deserve more out of me as well. And you will get that. But I need more out of Colton first, because you, my friend, are holding way more back than I am.
So, as you say this, he lowers his head. Okay. What do you want to know?
Why are you so old?
Let's just put it this way. I was cursed with eternal life. To not... You can see him fighting, sweat beating down. He closes his eyes for a sec. To not be with my family again. For they were murdered. And in that, there was a witch, obviously. I hunted this witch, and I choked her out with my bare hands. And as I was choking her out, turns out there was two of them. And as I took her life, the one in my hand's life, the other one cursed me with eternal life, so I'd never see my wife and my two children again. And as I
turned to look at her, she had my son, my 6-year-old son, in her hands as she slit his throat. And all of a sudden his body hit the floor. She was holding his soul and disappeared after she cursed me. And so now I'm on a journey to find that witch and my son. And my name is not Colton.
Oh? What is it?
You know how in Alexandria, the royal family that kept everything benevolent, all the country is sane, was murdered
Right.
in cold blood. Even the king? Well, let's just say the king was not murdered, for he was cursed. Look for his son and live forever.
Do I remember this event in history?
As he's telling you this, yeah, the memory's flooding back to you. And
My real name,
you know the name.
I cast aside as soon as my family was taken. For now, I'm Colton the Witch Hunter, and that's what my name is.
See, that's a story. That.
Jin and Kaylin, if you guys want to know if you know this history, roll me a history check.
I rolled a 14.
Okay.
History check.
Yeah, history check.
17.
Okay. You guys have heard the stories of how the royal family of Alexandria have been murdered. But you guys aren't from there, so you guys didn't. Kaylin, you don't know much about the family that was murdered, so you don't know the true king's name. Colton, text Brad your true name. Brad, you do know.
Okay. As he's talking, you could see him sit back, and you could tell that he's not going into full detail about certain things. But you can tell he's battling a lot of shit in his head at the same time. Now that I told you some shit, why don't you explain?
Right. Well, mine is a little less traumatizing. No offense. No, it's pretty simple. From the memories that I'm getting back. By the way, when we first met, all of you, I did not know any of this. But my memories are after Cerberus was taken from me. Whatever, Cerberus was hiding my past from me, and I think he was doing it to protect me from the Dark Lord. So, yes, I know who Dalv is because I fought with him in the Battle of Garminus.
I kind of got that.
Yeah, I'm roughly, as far as I can remember, roughly around 2200 years old. The reason, pretty simple. I'm lucky enough to be born of a deity. Cerberus, don't quite remember, but he might be my physical father, which makes me start to wonder, who was I killing from my last memory that I thought I was killing my father? He might have been my father. Might have been a little bit of a longer lineage, I guess. Anyways, like I said, memories are still coming back to me. But I do have some extra abilities that would be, considered, like a deity, I guess. But I think it's redundant to say that I am a deity. I have a small band of followers in Alexandria, maybe like 200-300. But
Wait. You have an army?
no, it's more of a cult.
Okay.
They're derived from followers of Cerberus, and Cerberus, when he started giving me my power and helping me to be able to do the things that I can do, that I'm starting to remember that I can do. Some of them, they saw me as kind of a hero, I guess, and they started worshiping me under Cerberus. So yes, I do have some followers, but I wouldn't call it an army. And I mean, I've had maybe one run-in with them, and I basically told them to fuck off because they're just annoying. They get up in my ass like, holy shit, it's Ragnar, everything, and just leave me the fuck alone. It's stupid. Anyways, that's about what I can remember. I have some little cool abilities that I'm starting to remember. I'm gonna have to take you to my world one of these days. It's pretty cool.
Your world?
Right? Yeah.
Like a
No.
celestial world?
Yes. It's not large. Okay, it's maybe a couple 100 yards each way. Not very big.
So as you guys are talking, you hear that little pitter patter. You guys have eaten. It was very delicious.
I actually didn't eat. I didn't eat.
Okay, Colton.
Oh, yeah.
I was stressed the fudge out. But I did eat.
I did trust him all that much.
And I did eat rations earlier that day, just so everybody knows.
Okay.
I said I was eating rations.
But Jin and
I'm
Kaylin,
close to the belly.
you guys, this was one of the best meals you guys have had. Kaylin, this actually reminds you of home. The way this was cooked and prepared, this reminds you a lot of home. And so you guys found it very delicious and satisfying. And then you hear this pitter patter approaching you guys.
Did you enjoy the food?
It was wonderful, thank you.
Oh, yes.
The creepy one that likes Kaylin.
Oh, the pretty lady likes it. The pretty lady likes the food.
Do you mind stepping back?
So as he did that, he wipes his face. You guys could kind of see maybe some snot as he wipes it down, and he's like drooling and stuff.
Pretty lady.
I fly out of my seat.
You can't.
Get away from me, you creep.
Oh, sorry about Leary. Don't mess him up. He's fine. I will stop him. You are very beautiful, but trust me, you won't have to worry about him. But if you guys want me to show you to your rooms, or maybe even a little tour if you want, I can take you on a tour.
So it's still kind of morning, so I'm not really tired.
Tour it is! Alright, I'm so excited, guys. We don't get guests very often, so this is very exciting for me. Can I ask your guys' name so I don't have to try to explain who I'm talking to?
Yes, my name is Jin.
Nice to meet you. I am Erie. My name is Erie. Pretty lady, what is your name?
I'd rather not tell you my name.
Okay, we'll just continue to call you Pretty Lady then. You big bearded man. What is your name?
You don't know who I am either? Man, I need to go back home. My name's Colton.
Colton. Nice to meet you, Colton. Yes, white-haired man. What's your name?
I'm Ragnar.
That one's a little harder for me to say. I'm sorry. Ragnar.
Hey, I got a question real quick. What's your other half's name?
Leary. His name is Leary.
So Erie and Leary?
Erie and Leary, yes, yes.
Eerie.
Erie, yes, that's my name.
If it's easy for you, just call me Blue,
Blue, perfect. Why blue?
because my skin's blue.
No, that makes so much sense. Yeah, thank you. Okay, you guys, if you guys want a tour, I will take you up to the front foyer, and I will take you on a tour.
Show me the dungeon.
Gary, I have a question.
Yes, Jin, yes. What's your question?
Have you seen anybody in here? Anybody else?
Yes. I mean, I see my brother all the time.
No, we are looking for somebody.
Oh,
She's got a skeleton friend with her.
yes, I've seen this woman, but she's not here.
Where did you see her?
I feel like I like you guys. I don't know if my master would appreciate me telling you this. But I will, because I like you guys. I seen you guys down at the lycanthrope crap, the ritual room. I watched you guys do that. Very, very impressive.
Maybe you would see like some bats fluttering in the corner of the upper side of the castle like area, like almost like hiding, like try to stay out of sight, but you can see Erie and Leary like look at them like, oh shit, like maybe I shouldn't.
That's enough about that. Master will talk to you about that if he wants to. But see, let's go on the tour. I'm sorry, my master. I'm sorry. And he follow me.
I look up at the bats.
Yeah, same.
You wouldn't be able to see them. He had just barely caught them out of the corner of his eye.
Okay, well I look up to the shadow.
Same.
The fuck was he looking at?
Are you guys coming or what?
I'll follow him.
Sure.
I'll follow.
Lady, you coming? You like tours?
I'm coming.
You hear his other brother.
Pretty lady.
Shut your mouth, you.
So as Leary starts talking like that again, I draw my spear and point it at him. You better learn some respect for the women.
Sorry. Don't hurt me.
I put my spear away.
My brother, sorry about Leary. We don't get guests very often, and seeing a very beautiful woman, look at us. We're guys. It's a castle full of guys. I'm sorry.
Right. Well, make it the castle full of gentlemen and learn how to.
I am very gentleman. I apologize, Blue. Pretty lady. I apologize for my brother's bad behavior. I'm so sorry. Okay, tour time. I'm excited. Let's go get on this tour.
So as we start out and we're following him, I'm gonna look at Kaylin. Kaylin. Well, we're in the mood of sharing. I'd like to know a little more about your background as well.
What do you want to know?
Well, I mean, your royalty. Yes. So why, if you're royalty, why aren't you home? Shouldn't royalty be home?
I should be, yes. But my parents wouldn't let me leave outside of home, even for a little bit. I just had a hunger for exploring.
Your parents were pretty strict then.
Yes,
I get that.
being of royal blood, people might take advantage of that. But I just wanted to see what I was missing and if I liked it, I would be out as long as I can. But when I feel like I'm ready to go home, I'll go home.
Do you feel like it's been worth it so far to leave?
Yeah. I had a schedule at home. I couldn't do what I wanted. I was constantly being watched and followed with rules, and And I was sick of it. I wanted to be my own self and not have my parents' eyes on me constantly. So
I'd like maybe to point out, like as you guys are walking down this maybe specific area or hallway, that there are like suits of armor that are lined up with decor as if they're holding their swords, like stuck into the ground, almost as if into the podium. And maybe one of them every now and again opens up to peek at you guys and then closes abruptly, as if maybe something spectral may be controlling them.
Hey, Eerie,
Yes.
what's the deal with the haunted suits of armor here?
The people, the master suits. He collects. He's a collector. And,
No, I mean with it looking at us, opening and closing.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
But I do mind that. That's why I asked.
Now just don't be in this hallway alone. I can just tell you that much.
Okay.
If there's more than one person in this hallway, we're good. We're good.
So does it count when you two are in the room as one person or two?
We're two people.
Okay, I was just curious because you guys are connected. I'm not trying to be rude, but you're technically one person with two heads.
You're coming off a little offensive.
I wasn't trying to be. I said take no offense. Doesn't that count?
No,
I apologize. Continue the tour.
I appreciate your apology. Let's go down the hallway. Down here, this is where I sleep.
I look at Kaylin also and say, I understand the deal with the royalty and wanting to get out, but I promise you the best life or best experience you get is by doing what you're doing now is by life.
I can honestly say that I appreciate the fact that you ran away, because if you didn't, I never would have got to meet you.
And I would avoid this room because apparently this is where they sleep and just...
And I'd probably be dead.
don't be getting mushy on me now, guys.
As they walk past their room, and everybody is like walking down this hallway still. You guys can still talk in between. So as you're walking, you can see out these maybe stained glass windows with almost like ruby type stained glass images on them. Some of them a great warrior defeating this great creature or beast that maybe looks like a lion, but with stained glass, it just looks like a creature. And then as you go on, they change.
Yeah, that was a stupid piece. Yeah, I'm so glad he died. He was aggressive. He that one right there, as you can see, he likes to eat halfling people. He hated them. And this warrior, he saved all the halfling, and he slayed that monster.
So as you continue to walk, you see another stained glass window as you walk down this hallway of armor that depicts two sides, one with dark stained glass and the other side with lighter stained glass, and two almost opaque type images of one person. One that is this demonistic looking creature, very ugly and vile, and the other side with very pristine and high of honor, with maybe war symbols on their chest, as if they're like medals or medallions, if you will, on one side. Maybe a shield on one side, and then the other side, the darker side, a handful of guts and blood running down their arm.
What's this depict? Fury, what does this depict?
That's the depicts every man in the world, I should say. Good and evil. Yeah, good and evil. That makes sense? Do I need to go into more detail?
Yeah, no, more detail would be nice, but I think I get it.
I mean, there's violence and there's good, peaceful. Does that make more sense?
Yeah.
Right.
As you continue to walk, you see like a wooden table, maybe, with a glass jar around maybe a dead or dying flower inside of this glass jar. Just off to the side of the room.
Eerie, we gotta water this flower. Eerie, come on.
Hey, why don't you just use this, and I'll hand him one of my water skins.
Hold your pennies in the bunch. Leary, hold your... We got water. We don't need your water. We got water.
I'm just trying to help you out, make friends.
I appreciate it.
Maybe as you continue to walk, you see another stained glass image that is maybe this person with medals on their chest that you had seen prior in the two opaque images, on one knee holding a rose up to a beautiful goddess type woman who has maybe turned her face from him as he holds one hand
What's
with
this
the rose
about?
in the other.
Sorry, what's this about?
I don't know, honestly. This one's very beautiful, though. In my eyes, I don't know what this one's about.
Who is
The woman
who
or
is
the paint?
man?
The glass.
The glass is beautiful, can't you tell?
Okay. I was just wondering if you're just looking at the woman or not.
It doesn't seem like they're describing things like they should be. So I'm gonna kind of sense what we're trying to do.
Roll me an insight.
14.
14. These guys are being genuine. They don't. You could tell that they don't know a lot.
So it's coming across like they're not, like they're just kind of making things up according to what they believe it is.
Yeah.
You can clearly tell that they're not giving you the additional information that would possibly fill all of this, the image in your mind, what this could mean, because, like what the DM just said. But you can completely tell that maybe there's a small little detail in the stained glass, as if the woman has a tear down her eye, like rolling down her cheek.
Okay. So he's trying to woo her or win her back, and he's possibly done something that has offended her to the point where she can't forgive him. So as the previous picture, I could almost get from it that he had two sides to him, where he was giving off the impression that he was a good, uprighteous person, but in the shadows he was doing things he wasn't supposed to be doing. Or at least that's how I'm getting the depiction of it. I'll keep listening to what they have to say.
So I guess continue on, Eerie and Leary.
Follow me.
As you continue, you enter this open space that maybe looks like a dining hall, like a giant ballroom, if you will.
This is the most beautiful room in our whole castle. Yeah. So beautiful.
Yuri, are you two the only ones here?
Yes. We serve the master.
How long have you been with the master?
Oh, we've been here a long time. We're not good with numbers. It just feels like forever. I've known him my whole life.
And how old are you?
I don't know.
As he's walking and talking, you guys notice that there's no furniture in the ballroom. That as if there hasn't been a dance here in forever, but the floors are impeccably polished, almost as if there was a magic that was possibly cast upon this floor to stay clean for all of eternity, or maybe a form of pristine energy in this area that continues to keep it at its original image.
Ragnar kind of just like twirls his hand like that, and then a small image, maybe about a foot tall, of a man and a woman. The man maybe looked like Ragnar a little bit, and a woman in a beautiful golden dress, kind of dancing, spinning around.
Holy shit! What the hell is that thing? Oh, what the hell? You guys are people with it?
I look at this. I look at this.
You're getting a freaking heart attack!
I didn't mean to startle you. I'm sorry. That was me. I've learned some new abilities.
Really? Did you see that pretty lady? Where'd she go? Where did she go, Harry? What? That's the man. I don't know. Can you bring him back, please? I like to see pretty ladies. Please tell me. I need to see them.
Ragnar makes a little...
Eerie, shut the hell up! Sorry.
Ragnar twiddles his fingers a little bit, and Leary now has like a fly buzzing in his ear.
This thing is blowing my ear! What the fuck?
I'm gonna do a second one that follows the noise, and it actually looks like a little fly, and it goes like in front of his eyes every now and then.
Fly?
As he hits him in the himself in the face, he hits it so hard that it like jerks him off his feet, and Erie's like this.
Oh shit! It's Leary, what the hell are you doing? Get off the floor! Yeah. What the hell was that, Leary? Jesus.
I make the fly and the noise disappear.
So as Eerie and Leary begin to lead you almost away from the center of the castle, as you guys notice, like he's leading you more towards like some doors that maybe would lead to like a garden, if you would. He opens the doors to like almost like a vegetable garden. There's some fruit nearby. Like you're gonna see like very like lavish looking and super plump like apples and pears and oranges, like any kind of vegetable you could see nearby.
Yes, we have our own irrigation system. Like don't talk to him about Leary. Leary had no idea about this. But me, I'm the smart one. You see these pipes up here? These metal tubes, right? You go over here, and you turn this thing right here. There. And you see the water fall down onto the plants. Yeah. That's how we do it around here. Instead of going one by one, you just turn that little water ball.
So Ragnar,
I think you can. You're very kind. I like you.
So Ragnar, you were asking about where their fruit and stuff came from. Well, here you go.
You like gardening? Yeah, I could show you some tips if you want.
Oh,
So as you're outside, you actually notice that what borders this castle isn't just walls, but it is actually a very thick, dense fog that surrounds the castle from maybe the moisture that would populate from the swamp around this castle. This would maybe even be known in lore or myth as the castle in the mist. Like, this is something that's not on any map you could find. This is something that wouldn't be very easily found, but maybe if you spoke to the right people that were maybe possibly in the same time frame as his existence, and yeah, what were you gonna say?
so does the legend tell us that, like, does it show up just after so long, or does it show up all the time, just in different places, or?
You just have to find it.
It's a place to be found. Before the swamps and stuff, it was like highlands, like very beautiful meadows and stuff surrounding the castle. After a certain amount of years, eventually, you know how the earth terraforms itself in a different way. Things move and things get wet. Some things get hot. Some things turn to sand. This area just went from beautiful meadows to swampy marsh.
Yes, thank you for showing us your garden. This is great ingenuity.
Oh yeah, thank you. It took a long time to do it, but with the precise measurements and stuff, it's so good. It makes everything. It drops its own seeds and everything. It's so good. But it's getting late. I've been up all night. I need to get some rest. Let me show you guys to your rooms, and when you guys wake up, the master will find you in the study when he wakes up. So let me show you guys to your rooms.
As we walk to the rooms, I ask him, so he told us not to go to the dungeons. Can we just ask what's down there?
No.
Anyway, so as you guys notice that the daylight is nearing possibly afternoon, you guys have been perusing and walking through the castle for so long, and it maybe takes you another couple hours to get back to your rooms because you had to go up flights upon flights of stairs, hallways upon hallways of these knights and these stained glass windows.
As you guys are walking, you guys do see, you guys notice a painting of a person as well. He looks oddly weird to you guys as well. You guys don't recognize him at all, but it's a person that has white, just pitch white skin, pitch black eyes, like there's no whites in his eyes, and then he has long, long white hair, and he's just standing there, just like this.
Hey,
What is
Yuri,
this?
Yuri, what is this picture?
Who the hell is that? I don't know who that is.
Have you seen this picture before?
Yeah, I walk by it all the time. I don't know who it is, though. That would be probably a question for the master.
As you guys continue to walk, you maybe start to feel some extreme exhaustion, as if it's almost forced upon you.
Whoa, I feel so tired all of a sudden.
Almost as if maybe your arcana or mana, however you'll look at it, is almost being drained or siphoned.
Can I roll do like a magic sense on that?
Yeah.
23. Yeah.
So the reason you would also feel this is possibly because maybe you're familiar with these types of spells to be in this area, like an arcana thing. It's an older spell that is used to siphon energy to make someone else nearby stronger.
What the guys?
Oh man.
This is not cool. Someone's siphoning our energy right now.
These other your guys. So tired. There's three rooms for you guys. They're right here. Yeah.
I'm not waiting around here to get my power drained, so I'll be back in like 8 hours. You can follow me if you want. So I kind of flick my hands and kind of like a tear in the air comes in, and then I just walk through it.
Actually, no, nothing happens. You guys
Guys,
all right now have 2 points of exhaustion.
Guys, we need to not separate. But we
Can
should
we
stay
walk
together.
still?
Yeah, you guys can walk, but it's like a slow crawl. And there's a room like right next to where Erie and Leary fell over face first.
This thing's going to kill us, isn't it?
I don't know, but it's draining us, and it's not cool. Maybe we should try and find our way back to the front doors. Go to that rest area, study thing.
I don't know if I can go that far.
As you notice that one of the doors opens itself, as if there's maybe a light symphony playing from inside the room. A light, maybe like goddess type sound singing from the bed, almost as if it's
How
beckoning you.
comfortable. I will go that way. Oh, I walk
Wait,
towards
Jin.
the room.
I reach out, but I'm so exhausted. I'm like, Jin, wait.
I can't hear him.
I'm not leaving.
I walk
Jin in
towards
there
the room.
alone. I follow Jin.
The other two rooms open as well, also singing their own type of song. It maybe sounds a little stronger and better and more pleasing to each different room. And or different player.
Yeah.
I go right into the room that's calling me. Just
There's 4 of us, and he said there's only 3 rooms.
So someone's gonna have to share.
oh,
that's what I was curious.
Jin.
Which room is calling to 2 people?
So it would be the first two people to go to that first room.
Okay, so I
which
guess it
was
was me
Jin
and
and
Jin anyway.
Jin and Ragnar. And so
I can't.
I'm so tired, man. I
As you-
try to reach for the bed, but I just fall asleep on the floor.
I made the bed.
I made the bed.
I crawl slowly, make it to the bed, and just like plop.
So as Kaylin plops on the bed, her owl Alara jumps off her shoulders, and it seems like it's not too affected, but you guys obviously don't know. And just floats down onto the head post and is waiting for Kaylin to wake up. As you guys sleep, you guys wake up. You guys are awake. You guys are fully energized. You guys feel great, actually.
So I don't have the kink in my neck anymore?
Nope.
That was weird.
You
Man,
guys
that
feel
was...
like you had
Oh,
a very
shit.
good
Jin,
rest.
Jin. Okay, good.
You guys, there's a knock on each one of your doors.
The master will see you now. To the study. To the study.
How did
So I
you sleep?
Heights, Dude, I've never slept so good on a floor in my life. That was weird.
I said I slept like I was on a cloud. It was so wonderful.
I walk out in the hallway.
Let's go, Gene.
Sounds good.
I open the door.
Hey guys.
Oh, good. You're not dead. That's a plus.
Oh, I slept freaking like a baby. I haven't slept that good in ever.
I'm in the hallway with the guys.
As everyone enters the hallway, maybe everybody gives each other like a greeting look, like, wow, we've been on such an adventure kind of thing.
Fucking A. What do you guys think? I feel like I could take on anybody.
Yeah, me too. That was a good resting time.
Yeah,
You guys, the master is waiting. Come on, follow me.
As you guys begin to walk and you look outside, instead of seeing a bright, shining sun, you see more rain and more clouds, more darkness outside. Almost as if the amount of time that you slept was enough to set you back into the night.
This is gonna
How
screw up
long
my
were
sleep
we out?
schedule.
I think all day. Like, maybe even a couple days. I don't know.
Yuri, how long were we asleep?
I don't know, how long do you usually sleep?
However long I'm allowed to before I have to kill something.
Oh, there you go.
So as everybody walks down these halls again, makes this trek all the way back, almost as if now that at night, this place has a different feeling.
Mm-hmm.
The darkness that now encroaches in the corners
Where's
of
my pencil?
the hallway and the ceiling as well. You can no longer see up into the rafters. It's now darkness. Almost as if there's something watching you from these corners and these spaces that you can't exactly see into. This castle now feels more lively than it was in the day. Almost as if you always have company with you as you walk.
Do you get that feeling too, Ragnar?
You get that feeling? Yeah.
About something's watching you all the time.
Yeah. Oh,
Do you, Jen?
It's felt that way for a while.
Kaylin, what is your elf eye see?
12-13.
So it wouldn't be very hard to see that in the rafters, what she can see, which you guys can't because this darkness is so black. She can see bats sitting in the corners of these rooms, almost as if they're like sentry cameras, maybe watching, looking, observing. But all of them have that same yellow tint that you recognize, that she would recognize, that Dalv would have in his eyes.
We're almost to the study, guys. It's okay, come on, follow me.
As you all walk in to this main foyer with maybe this spiral staircase that leads down to not only the front door, this giant steel door, or I think it was mentioned as steel, I'm not sure, that you guys had originally, wooden door that you guys had come in from in your original escapade. You now recognize the area you were in. So you now know where the study is, you know where everything else is. You guys are now just following Eerie and Leary.
What do you think they're talking about this shit?
Here's the study, guys. Let me go get you guys some refreshments. I'll be right back. But you guys make yourselves comfortable. The master will be there shortly.
I walk in the room and I sit down in one of those chairs.
I peek out the window.
Man, this is almost as good as when I took that nap earlier.
I'll sit in the same chair I sat in previously when I was in the room.
Okay.
I'm just standing by the fireplace.
So as
Oh,
everyone
yes.
gets situated in the room, you hear this voice coming from one of the corners of the room of darkness. I hope everybody had a good rest. As Dalv slowly comes out of the darkness, as if he's almost on an escalator, not taking steps, not inching his way up out of it, almost like easing his way out of the darkness as he's coming into this area. And he says, I know that you all have secrets. I do not have secrets. I am a very open book, if you will. But you must ask the right questions. No one here piques my interest. So soon, I will have to ask you to leave my castle.
I thought you said we was welcome now.
As soon as I found out that one of you, and he makes a side eye at Colton, possibly was not who he says he was, I do no longer trust you. This might be a place for me and me alone, but not for you.
Dolph,
Yes, Ragnar.
what happened to you and Garminus in the battle?
This was some time ago.
It was.
As he looks off into the distance, as if he's having a flashback that you guys can almost see through maybe a spectral vision in his description. This was so long ago that my mind is so foggy. It was before Victoria, my love. She was the apple of my eye, if you will. But before that, it was Garminus. He was my great friend.
Garmin.
Carmen, yes. Forgive me, I'm having struggles. I'm yet but a weak and feeble man now.
You don't seem too weak to me.
He looks back at you and says, until you can tell me your real name, I will not give you my attention nor my time in my home. I do not trust you.
So as soon as you say that, I stand up like real fast, and it kind of bumps the chair backwards. And he looks, and you can see how serious he looks.
As this happens, he rushes you to get in your face. Not like no steps, just quickly flashes in front of you.
So I'm just looking at him straight in the eyes, just kind of reading him. And I just kind of...
Relax, my friend. He knows obviously a lot more than we know about ourselves, but he also might have answers for us.
I left that life behind. I am not that person.
I would listen to your Asamarian friend as he turns to walk away from you. And then he stops as he's 180 from turning from you. And he says, I've lived multiple lives. And the ones that I enjoyed was the ones with trustworthy friends. And looks back at you and says, until you tell me your name, you are not a friend. And turns his back to you.
Well, trustworthy friends is what got my family killed.
As he stops in his tracks and turns back and says, you had family.
Yes.
He looks to Kaylin and Jin and is like, it almost seems like everyone here is not up to speed. Maybe we sit down and have a heart-to-heart over the hearth.
I would like to get to know more about what's going on.
I think that would be a good idea.
I appreciate your hospitality. I have noticed things throughout your house, which I thank you for allowing us to be your guests, that may depict your story.
Oh, Master, I brought the drinks. Master. Here you go, pretty lady. Here you go. Here's a drink for you. Jin, my friend. Very nice man. Here's your drink right here. Take it. Yes. Go down.
I walk it over. I take the drink, and I walk over to the fireplace and just kind of look into the fire.
Man of many words, I see. Ragnar, here's your drink. Here's the drink.
Oh, you did learn to say my name.
Yeah, I've been practicing in my mind. I leave you be now. Master, do you need anything before I leave?
No, I am good. Thank you very much.
Oh, yes, Master. You guys enjoy Master's company. He's such a nice guy. He's very, very, very smart.
Leary, please. I noticed last night you did not take care of the flower.
Yeah,
it, please.
Yes, will do. Yes, Master. Yes.
It is quite all right. As Dolph continues to speak towards Jin. Yes, this place tells many of my lives I've lived here. One as a man, and one as not. But it is who I am today. And who are you today? And looks towards Colton.
Well, I guess if you need to know the truth, start at the beginning. So as he's looking in, he kind of takes a sip of the drink. What is it exactly? Is it
It's
like mead?
sweet, fresh, very delicious wine.
It is from the top shelf. Erie and Leary, I had them fetch it all the way from the back. I do not know what age it is because the label has disintegrated due to time.
The beginning
That's a lot of money for this.
would start in the capital of Alexandria. In Alexandria. Yes, the capital is named Alexandria after the country. Just so everybody knows.
I know of
I
this
know.
place.
I'm from there.
I've been there many times.
We sat around a table just like what you have in there. Food out, everything. And our trusted wizard, who was a female, one of the first that we had in ages, be so close to the royal family, served us for our anniversary, my wife and mine. Invited all the kids. I had my oldest daughter, 10 years old, and I had a son, 6 years old. We all having dinner. Looked like pork, fruit everywhere, and wine tastes a lot similar to this. We all having our time, but me running a little late because of my duties of who I was. Come in to everyone dead. Bodies on the floor, blood puked up.
As you say blood, Colton, you can see Dolph kind of sits.
I'm not looking at Dolph.
Oh, okay. But
But
everybody
Dolph
is.
does react. Dolph does react. He kind of twitches his neck a little bit, and you hear him make a sound that's like "Ugh."
Her name was Katrina. Standing over them. Orb over the table. Souls. My family's souls being sucked in. I draw my sword at that time and broke that orb in two. And as I did that, I lunged at her. We fought. I ended up choking the life out of her. And as that happened, her apprentice was behind me with my son in her hands as she slits his throat and takes his soul and teleports to a purple shade. And as she does that, she cursed me with eternal life. Can't die naturally by age or any natural way. I can't kill myself, and if I try to just let something kill me, I can't die. I have to die legit, if that makes sense to you.
Dolph walks up to you and stands really close and says, "We are more alike. You and I will both understand. But for now,
You
think-
asked me what my name was,
Yes.
as I kind of interrupted him.
Yeah.
My real name, for I have not disowned, just I don't go by it no more, was Agron Louise Alexander.
And he looks at you and he says, I know, my friend. I have known of you for a very long time. I've just never had the opportunity to really meet you.
So my journey is to find my son's soul, for I have journeyed far and wide to find him. I became a witch hunter shortly after to make sure and hunt down any witch that might have knowledge of my son's soul. I have contacted the other afterlife, and he's not there. That's why I know she still has him. And she tortures me every day
So, in order to do so, like I said, I became a witch hunter. They had to carve my heart out and spread it across the fields of Alexandria. And as this happened, they burned my body, buried my ashes with my heart, and the next day I was risen by the gods, and I pulled the medallion out from under my clothes, and this was around my neck. And I turn it over, and you guys can, the Vlad that's standing next to me can see the scribblings onto it. There's like writing onto it. Rest soundly, children of the light, for my blood shall sustain you, and my body will shield you. And that's my story, Vlad. Ever since I have hunted and killed every witch, every monster that I could in search of this to help others. But in the meantime, I have cast aside who I was and became someone new. Grew my beard out so no one would recognize me. Changed my name and left him dead. For I don't need to have that life. People slow me down to find my son.
Well, if I may, my friend, it is a very respectable reason to hide your name. But now you gained my trust. And today, I will tell you, everyone, come here, gather around. Everyone, come close.
Stay looking at the fire for a second, and I chug the rest of the wine.
Master, I brought the thing. Master, it's heavy.
Yes.
Here you go, Master.
Here
you go, Master. Is that all you need, Master?
Yes, thank you very much.
Please. Thank you, Master.
Thank you. So, you're still standing by the window, Ragnar?
Yep.
Okay. Dalv will appear behind you and say, "Please, my friend," as he puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, "I have spoken to your god. I am sorry what happened to Cerberus. I once knew him. It was a shame after I found out possibly what has happened to him. Please join me and your friends. We have some serious talking to have."
Kind of very, almost kind of like I'm kind of on my walking on eggshells after he mentioned Cerberus.
But
And
you guys,
slowly make my way over there.
when Erie and Leary came in, you guys noticed he was carrying a big chest, like he was dragging a huge chest, and he set it down next to Dolph's feet.
Which is where the rest of the group is.
As I walk up and this whole thing. So now I told you about me. What about you?
You will hear everything in this moment. I must tell you, your past is very pained. To not be able to die a peaceful death, or a quiet one that is the worst curse a man could ever have. As he looks at his hand and he stares at one of the rings on his fingers. To not love, but to lose. But to win, but never die. These are the trades that we have made with these curses that we hold. Make new friends, as he looks up at you. And you see a slight smirk for a mere second. And he looks at you in the eye and says, "Be who you will today, but for tomorrow, you might get your wish. But for yesterday, does not matter. Who we are here is what does." So then he looks at everyone and says, "Everyone, I must confess, I've been watching you in your adventures. I know who this Rafa is. I know your adventures with the rituals." And he looks towards Jin and he says, "You still smell like dog."
I haven't had a chance to wash.
This is okay. I know what you've all been through. And I know who you are to be. I've seen many of your people come through these ages. Do you wish to know what they turned out to be? Heroes. The brave. He looks towards Ragnar. The bold. He looks towards Koltan. The intelligent. And he looks towards...
Kaylin.
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 Come on, man.
The courageous. And looks towards Jin. And possibly the loving. As he looks off in the distance, maybe to think of possibly Davina. These are what it takes to make heroes. And the equation I have in front of me is how we will stop the one they call the Dark Lord. For I am not he. I am an ally. So for today, I give you gifts to help you on your adventures. Please, step forward.
Who is the Dark Lord?
He looks over.
He
seems like he's trying to get something done. Like he's not ignoring you, but he's also trying to move this scenario on, almost as if he's been in anticipation, trying to get this moving. So he looks at each of you almost as if, like in a single file way, and he looks to Kaylin first. Kaylin, you have the eye of a sharpshooter, do you not?
Yes.
Here, I will give you this. And he opens this giant, hardcore looking steel chest. You don't even know how Eerie and Leary could have got it up the stairs, let alone drag it in the room. It left rip marks in the carpet on the way in and through the rugs. As he lifts open the lid, almost as if there's a type of energy that comes from it, a magical presence that comes from the box. This was locked away in my dungeon. There are many things down there, so please, after you know what came from there, do not try to go in there. As a friend now, I ask you please, give me my peace and my space, and I will reward you for it. And so he pulls out this glistening gold with white ivory bow. The string that is drawn is formed by hair that of a goddess with gold shimmer. I give this to you. This was possibly the greatest ranger I had ever met. Came and gave me this bow. She once told me that she got this from a goddess herself. I do believe it. The string will never break. A sword will never pierce it. This bow is yours, and it is called the Oath Bow. You commit yourself to this bow, and it will never miss.
Wow,
Then-
thank you so much.
As he lightly bows and closes his eyes, and he says, anything for a young lady like you. Such posh and kind manners. I once hoped to have such kind and honorable lineage, such like you.
That is very kind of you.
As he looks towards Koltan. As for you, my friend, Koltan. He reaches in and pulls out this beautiful rune-carved longsword. This sword has been woven in the hilt with leather that of the back of a demon. This demon once ravaged many, many people. When it was killed, I heard that the leather from its hide was wrapped around the handle, almost not as a curse, but that of a blessing, to remind other demons that this sword is not to be trifled with. And he hands you the sword and he says, this is the long sword of sharpness. It is said that this sword was possibly pulled from a stone once before. But I am not the man to pull this sword. I met a great knight who had given this to me. Now it is yours, my friend.
Thank you.
As he bows his head and closes his eyes, and he says, anything for such a great and courageous man like you. It is not hard to kill demons or were-rats or even evil men. But it is hard to admit to yourself that you have made mistakes in the past. For you, my friend, this sword is the right fit. And he looks over towards Ragnar. And he says, Ragnar. And he pulls this giant trident. Almost as if, how the hell did this fit in this little chest? As he's pulling it from the floor almost like magic.
Holy shit, where's that coming from? I try to lean over and like peek into the bottom of the chest.
When you look inside, you see nothing but a black opening. There's nothing in the chest. It's just a darkness that he's reaching into and pulling these items out of. And he looks at you and says, you have possibly heard of this thing called the bag of holding.
Yes, I have. Actually.
So, just like the bag of holding, this chest leads into another ethereal realm. That is where all my treasures and wares are stored. All I have to do is imagine in my mind what I wish to grab. And for you, my friend, he holds this giant trident. Three-prong on the tip. It's easily a 4-foot trident, with the top part of the trident being the prongs, adding another foot on top of it. So being maybe a 5.5 foot trident, not exactly the biggest, but also the most agile. This trident was once given to me by a man that, silly enough, could talk to fish.
Really?
This trident was that given to me of not but a friend, but someone who also bested me in combat.
From what I've heard, that's not an easy thing to do.
You are correct, my friend. As I said before, damn right. And here you go, my friend. For now, the spear is yours. It will not maybe let you talk to fishes, but I'm more than sure it will give you abilities to your wildest desires.
I greatly appreciate it, Dove. And it's a pleasure to finally meet you.
As he bows his head and closes his eyes, and he gives you his blessing. For you are one of the greatest warriors that I have ever met. But yet, today, you showed much growth and restraint. I appreciate you, Ragnar. As he then turns to Jin, he says, my friend, it smells of dog.
Yes.
For I have a gift of you, not of weapons, not of treasures, but that of a trinket, jewelry. Not normal jewelry, my friend. And he reaches in and he pulls out this golden pendant that has 2 hands cupping a sun in the center of it, linked by chains of almost as if forged by gods themselves, as it gleams in his hands. You can tell he kind of winces his eyes because it's so brightly shining almost. This, my friend, will not only bring you certain things in your life, but you must also learn to use it, just like everyone here. In due time, this will mean more to you than you realize. But for now, I must tell you, you have been through so much in your life. All of you have. And these past few days have brought you so close together. But yet no one has realized it yet. You are all family. And looks back towards Jin. And you have lost your family. This is a symbol. This pendant I have in my hands is a symbol of family. And he puts it around your neck. And he pats you on the shoulders and he says, for once you have lost what you had, now you have hopefully realized you have gained. These people are your new family. For I have lost many things in my life. For you have gained so much in this. I hope you realize that, my friend.
I am very thankful for your gifts. What can we do for you?
As he looks back up towards everyone, he says, my friends, as he hopefully motions you inwards. He says, I'm not sure if you've realized, but it's still murky and rainy outside. Very dark and sinister. This place is known to have strange absorption powers, yes. I must tell you. To be honest, it was me. Anyone that enters this kingdom, there is a spell upon it. Their life force fuels me. Against my will, I promise you. I did not trap you here. I invited you. But yet, this curse that has been placed on my land and also myself forces wanderers here. I have brought you here because I need to ask you of one thing.
What's that?
I need you, my friends, my heroes, to fight and to kill the Dark Lord, who I am very familiar with. His name is Vosler Kane.